Peace and gratitude. This is Reverend Dr. Kamara Falade Bandebanwa. And I thought that I was done, but Spirit had a different perspective. Like, no, you're not done. So, are you titled or entitled? This is another video in the series of my experience with bullying at the hands and the mouth of the neighborhood block club president. Today is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, and this one is about desires and clarification that Spirit wanted me to discuss and elaborate on. So, the $1,000,000 question is, what do I want? And I think that's important. And I remember when I watched Iyanla fix my life, she would ask, like, what do you want? And I think that's important. Because if we don't know what we want, then it creates an obstacle in solving the problem. So, first of all, let me clarify. In the last video, the closing thoughts video, I mentioned how I had no problems with working with the neighborhood block club president. And some of you may be like, well, what she did to you, why would you want to work with her? You see, she's not a leader of integrity. She's not a leader, a leader that she's not respectful. Some of you may be like, she's a dangerous person. Like, why would you want to work with someone like that whose character and reputation does not live up to the standard of the title that she holds? And I'll give you this example. When I was a teacher, I had administrators who their character didn't live up to the standard in which their title held them to. And I would call them out on it. Like, I had no problem calling them out on it. However, that was still my leader. Now, I was not going to engage in unlawful, unethical, immoral behavior for them. I wasn't going to do that. No, not at all. However, the end goal was that we were there to educate children, to educate young adults, teenagers, to provide them a safe haven, a community in which they felt safe, and to mentor these young people and to prepare them for their next step in their journey, which was after high school and growing into adulthood. That part we had a commonality on, that we agreed on. So, yes, I will call them out if they were not upholding the standard of principal or assistant principal or superintendent, school board. Yes, I will hold them accountable. But at the same time, I'm still here to do what I was called to do. And until you are removed from this leadership position, you are still my boss. I still answer to you. And I'm not going to stop doing my job and what I'm called to do because you're not living up to your standard. So I had a standard that I was called to as a teacher. And I was going to continue to live up to that standard regardless of what my boss or my assistant principal or what my principal was doing. I was not changing my behavior and lowering my frequency because of their choices and their decisions and their unethical behavior. Because I still got to answer to my ancestors. I got to still answer to God. I got to still answer to the Holy Spirit. I got to answer to myself. So that's why I'm able to I'm holding you accountable to your title that you hold, but I'm not going to be out here lowering my vibration and my frequency and not contributing to the greater good of the community because you're acting a certain way. I'm going to do the best I can to the best of my ability to be a peaceful neighbor and to be a positive contributing citizen to the community, regardless of what you're doing. I'm not going to step off my throne and take off my crown because you're not upholding your standard. So that's why I'm able to be like, I can still work with her. If she needs help or assistance, I can still do it because I'm accountable, because I chose to live in this community. So I'm accountable to the community by being the best person that I'm supposed to be. That's why I'm able to say I don't mind working with her, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to hold you accountable. And I'm gonna do it in a way that's respectful, but I'm gonna hold you accountable. If you're, you know, uh upholding the position and the title, and other people are allowing you to uphold the position and the title, I gotta respect that. But I don't have to respect your disrespect. I don't have to respect your disrespect. And I don't have to just sit back and watch you do wrong and be mean and be petty and be catty and not hold you to the standard of the title that you have accepted. So I wanted to clarify that. Like, you can work with leaders and people who you know are not right. They are immoral, unethical, and you can hold them to a standard. You can call them out in a respectful way. However, you don't change because at the end of the day, you all do share a common goal. And at the end of the day, you're called at that particular place for a reason. And you are not to stoop down to their level. You are not, it's not about, oh, well, they not doing this and you supposed to be the manager and you not acting like a manager, so why would I do what I'm supposed to do? I don't think like that. I don't. Because I'm not going to base my behavior based on someone else's misbehavior. I'm not going to base my behavior based on someone's misbehavior. I'm not going to do that. I know I'm very clear about what God has called me to do. I'm very clear about why I'm in certain places, in certain situations, why I'm called to certain places in certain situations, and I have to uphold that. And I can't use somebody else's misbehavior and poor choices and decisions as an excuse for me to lower my frequency and not do what I'm called to do, because karma is going to come back on me. Karma don't care what somebody else is doing. Karma does not care about what someone else is doing. All karma is concerned with, the law of cause and effect, is you did it and now there's consequences for what you did. Karma does not care about why you did it. And I don't have time to play with karma, because karma ain't playing with me. So I wanted to clarify that. Now, what do I want? I want the same energy that she spent soiling my name in the community and lying on me. I want her to expend that same energy going back to those people and apologizing and telling them the truth and telling them what she did. That's what I want. I want an apology to me. I want you to leave me alone. If we can't, if it's just agreed upon that it's just a personality difference, then I don't say anything to you and you don't say anything to me. We just let each other live in peace. All that mean girl behavior, I want it to stop. Now, because I currently have a PPO out against her, technically she can't come, within a certain distance to me and say certain and talk to me. So I know at this particular time that may be challenging, but the PPO expires next year in February. And because she can't come to me and formally give me an apology, you can still go to the neighbors that you've been throwing dirt on my name with and tell them the truth. Let them know what you were doing. I want fair and equitable treatment, because I'm going to put it out there. And I got facts that the neighbor, if you go out my house, if you come out my house, if I exit my house right now, the neighbor on my right side, um, when the city worker came and was taking pictures of her house, because of blight or whatever. And see, this is what the neighborhood block club president doesn't understand. When you're calling to be petty for the city worker to come to my property and take pictures, all you're doing is setting up neighbors. You're setting up the neighbors who aren't in compliance to get quote unquote or to get tickets as well. Because once they drive down the street and see other violations, they're going to take pictures. They're not going to lose their job over you. They're just not going to just come because you called and complained about my property. They're just not going to come and take pictures just of my property. As they're driving, they're going to see other violations. So now other people are going to get tickets because you're being petty just to get back at me. So I got facts that so the city worker came out to take pictures of the house on the right side of me, right? So clearly I have facts, I have proof. She called the girl because the girl was over here last night cleaning up, cleaning up and whatever she needed to correct or fix so she wouldn't get a blight ticket. But here's the thing. I could get all y'all in trouble. Well, I could get the city worker in trouble. Because now you're showing favoritism. Because when I had to go to the hearing to fight my ticket last year, I was told, oh no, you don't get an opportunity to clean up your property. Once we come out and take a picture, it's an automatic ticket. So how come there's favoritism with the neighbor to the right of me? Why? Because the neighborhood block club president called her or texted her or communicated with her in some way. Because last night, she was cleaning up. And she had someone else come earlier to start the cleanup. So it's the favoritism. If you're going to do that for her, why you not doing it for me? Why you're not like I said, she got a PPO, but she don't even know she got a PPO unless she listens to this because I haven't formally served her. So how come you're not doing the same for me? How come you're not? Because remember, you're supposed to be an unbiased, objective leader. Whether you like me or not, why don't you extend the same courtesy to me that you extended to the girl next door? And say, hey, look, they're coming taking pictures of your house. Maybe you should, get this fixed up. Why didn't you go and plead on my behalf? Why you didn't go talk to the neighborhood or the city worker and say, and plead my case? Because that wasn't your intentions. And that's what I'm saying about the favoritism, the dishonesty, the cattiness, the pettiness, and that's holding you to a standard of integrity. If you're going to do for one, you're going to do for all on the block, regardless of how you feel about us or how you feel about me. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. I know that in my gut is telling me that why she's doing that and she's showing favoritism to that girl. That girl she broke 3 of my windows. And I truly believe that woman, the neighborhood block club president, had something to do with that girl breaking my windows. Now, the girl did it. She got to take responsibility for it regardless because she ultimately made the choice to do it. But my heart of hearts is telling me that woman, the neighborhood block club president, planted a seed in her mind for her to do it. Cause I haven't had problems with the woman with the girl on the right side of me to the level that she would break out my windows. And I've been over here for 7 years. And I said what I said. My gut is telling me she has something to do with it. Now this girl has pled guilty to a felony because I had to press charge. No, I chose to press charges. So now she's pled guilty to a felony. And my heart of hearts is telling me that woman has something to do with it. Even though she didn't execute the crime herself, she has something to do with it. And that's why you just looking out for her so heavy. And I said what I said. So I want an apology. I want you to, that same energy that she was, gossiping about me, go tell the neighbors the truth. I want restitution. The money I have had to spend because now I got to protect my safety. I want justice. And just leave me alone. We don't have to talk to each other. Just when you see me, don't say anything. I want her to get mental health because I think there is some mental health issues and some therapy that don't have nothing to do with me, but somehow I'm triggering it, some unhealed parts of herself. That's what I want. And I want fair treatment. If you are going to be the leader, if the people have elected you as the leader and they want you as the leader, I have to respect that. But I want fair and equitable treatment. How you treat the other neighbors that are a part of the Neighborhood Black Club Association, I want you to treat me the same way, regardless of how you may feel about me. I want you to uphold that standard. Those are my desires. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want accountability. I want her to look at herself and do some soul searching and go get the help that she needs. Talk it out with a trusted counselor or a trusted friend. That's what I want. Those are the things that I want. I'm trying to think, is there anything else Spirit wants me to say? No, I think that's it. That's it. That's all. I don't think it's anything else. That's what I want. I want an apology. I want you to go and all the people that you were talking down to me on, I want you to tell them the truth and what you have done. I want, as long as you continue to be in the position as Neighborhood Black Club president, I want you to uphold that. Treat me fairly. Just like you treat everybody else, treat me the same way. We don't have to like each other. I want to just stop talking to me. If you cannot say anything nice or kind to me and it's always something smart and evil and mean and abusive, just don't say anything to me. But extend the same courtesy that you extend to the other Black Club members, that you extend to them, extend it to me. Give me the choice to say whether or not I want to participate. Because I'm going to tell you this, and I use this example. We in the Black community have forgotten about community. And we have strayed so far from it because we have adopted this westernized European mindset of just me, 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 and don't be in my business and get out my business. But when you bring your business outside, then you're bringing people in your business. When you get loud and you bring attention to yourself, you put people in your business. If you don't want people in your business, keep it in your house, keep it under lock and key. But that doesn't even work anymore, because at the end of the day, I say this all the time, what you do in your house, eventually we're going to see it on the outside. You can't hide it. So I don't even want to say that anymore. So we were people before we were brought over here, forcefully brought over here. We believed in community and accountability. And um we believe that what one person did, it affected everybody. And it was no, you can't outrun that, you can't hide from that, you can't escape that. So when the Christianity talks about the body of Christ, that's an African concept, because Africans, they just Christianize that concept, because Africans have always believed that we are a community, and what one does, it affects the other. When I wrote my dissertation, it was about I included in there African metaphysics and the difference between African metaphysics and Western metaphysics. And in African metaphysics, they realize that they all are one, that there's no separation, and that we have to honor all of us, from the ones that are living to the ones that have passed on. We're all one. So when Christianity talks about the body of Christ, that's really an African concept about how we're all connected and we're all one. So I gave an example today when I was talking to one of my friends, and I said that, say for instance, I'm vitamin B. I'm vitamin B. So when we are petty and we plant seeds of division, we plant seeds of discord in our community, and we gossip about people and we lie about people, and we get people to turn against people. And I'm saying that in a negative way. I'm not saying when you hold people accountable, because when you hold people accountable, it's not, the intent is not to turn people against the person. It's to say, hey, look, I see the leadership qualities in you. I see the potential in you, but you're not living up to that potential. You're not living up to that standard. So it's a big difference from what I'm talking about. So when you're holding people to a standard, you're really low-key giving them a compliment. You're really saying, I see the good in you, but you don't see the good in yourself, and that's why you're acting the way you're acting. And so I'm holding you accountable so that you can see, recognize, and acknowledge the good in you, so you can move forward and live your best life and be a positive example and influence on other people. So when we're negative and we're sowing discord and division in the community, I'm vitamin B. Well, guess what? If you're now planting lies and deception in people's minds about me, and I'm vitamin B, the body needs vitamin B. Studies have already proven, journal articles have already been written, that when we have a vitamin B deficiency, a lot of things will be imbalanced in our body, and that will cause a lot of diseases. So I'm vitamin B, right? But you out here planting discord and division and amongst the body, amongst the black community, but I'm vitamin B, and the black community needs vitamin B. Well, guess what? They're not going to get their vitamin B because they're listening to you, and they won't get the vitamin B that they need in order to heal, so their bodies will be balanced. So you see how what we do affects everybody? Even though the people haven't done anything, the people that are listening to the gossip, they haven't done anything to me directly, but because you're listening to the gossip, you're listening to the lies, now you don't get the vitamin B that you need. And that's all I'm saying with the Neighborhood Block Club president. I have resources just like she does. She has gifts and talents that the community benefits from. I benefit from. But how dare she, or how dare any of us deny people resources that could help them just because you don't like that person? So because I'm vitamin B, you rather people get sick, maybe potentially die, have all kind of diseases because you don't like me, and you're going to plant these seeds of division, and now they can't get the vitamin B or the resources that they need to live a healthy life. And that's dangerous in the spirit realm. In the spirit realm, you are racking up a lot of karma, because that's dangerous. Because there literally could be somebody on this block that I have the answer that they need to literally save their life. But because they're being blinded by the Neighborhood Block Club president, they don't get it. So now, if it gets to the point of physical death, their blood is now on her hands. This stuff is serious, y'all. This ain't no just surface level physical stuff. It's deep. It gets deep when we don't act with pure intentions and we lack community. Because you don't know the bigger picture. You don't know who's connected to me, who on this block needs me, and I need them. And you're preventing that. Our blood is on her hands. And we gotta stop looking at, oh, that's your problem over there. It don't have nothing to do with me. That is a bold-faced lie. You've adopted that from white people, European culture, and that is not our culture. That's not our culture at all. That is not an African mindset. That's how dangerous this thing is. So I believe the spirit is done. I hope I'm done with this, because I hope I'm done. I hope this video series, I'm done with it after this video. People, really stop with this. Stop thinking that the decision that you're making at home and nobody is looking and nobody is around is not going to affect the world around you, because it is. It's called the butterfly effect in the Western world. What you do behind closed doors, I don't care, and nobody looking at you, is going to affect the world around you in some way, shape, or form. Give it time. And we got to start thinking that way. If we would start thinking that way, this world would be a better place. Because it's not about you. Every decision you make, I mean, from the decision you make to get up in the morning, at what time you want to get up in the morning, that may seem so small and minute, but it affects the world around you, like people that you will never meet physically. We got to start thinking that deep, people, and being that intentional with our lives. So thank you so much. Until next time. Oh, and I also want to say thank you. I'm finally at over 200 subscribers. So thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching all of the videos to the end. And I pray, my intention is that you just learn from my experience. And I pray that you hear God in me, and you don't hear the Kamara in me, but you hear the God in me, that you hear my heart, and that you have eyes to see and ears to hear. And I thank you so much. Until next time, stay aware and stay grateful. Clarification, because I want to make it clear. So, because I can see how it would sound contradictory. So when I said that, like one of the things that I desire is for the Neighborhood Black Club president just like not to say anything to me. And what I mean by that is, when you see me, stop saying mean things. Stop saying harassing, verbally abusive things to me. If you know that you can't say anything kind to me, just don't say anything to me. That's what I mean about the communication, not talking to me. Like, because every time she sees me, I'm telling you, I don't say anything to this woman. She initiates it by verbally abusing me, harassing me, threatening my physical person. Like, she initiates it. Just don't say anything to me. That's one of my desires. Just don't say anything to me. If you don't like me, just keep your mouth shut. And because I do have a PPO currently against her, send the vice president. Because you can't come on my property and can't come within a certain distance of my person. Have the vice president do it. What I mean with communication is, we can have a professional, we can have professional conversation. We can be professional. Where it's like, this is what's going on. Here's an invite to the meeting, and that's it. We don't have to talk about the weather. We don't have to talk about, the latest movie. None of that. It can just be simply, this is what's going on in the neighborhood that you should be aware of, and that's it. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to me, like I said, that's what the other members are for. That's what your vice president is for. That's what your secretary is for. So I want to clarify that, because I know it can sound like, well, one minute you saying don't say nothing to you, but then you want to be, included in the block club, happenings. And that's what I mean by that. Like, if she just knows that you're gonna say something mean, just don't say anything. And then just, that's what other board members are for. Delegate the responsibility. Because I feel like I'm here for a reason, and I'm supposed to contribute. That I just truly believe that God does not place you somewhere for a reason, and not to contribute your gifts and talents in the way that God sees fit. So I'm here for a reason. Will I participate in every single thing? No. I will do what God has led me to do to participate, but I'm here for a reason. And I don't believe in freeloading. I believe when you are put somewhere for a reason, no, you don't let people take advantage of you. You don't give, 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 and you don't get anything. However, I do believe that we are put in situations and places and in people's lives for a reason. And we are to impact people in a positive way. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I would have been gone a long time ago. God would have opened doors and I would have been moved a long time ago. So I want to really clarify that, because I know it can sound contradictory. Well, one, you don't want her talking to you and she can't talk to you because of the PPO. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can't say something kind, then just don't say anything. We just won't speak to each other, and that's fine. But at the same time, fair and equitable treatment. Because I believe in the common vision. I believe in the common vision. Regardless of our history, I believe in the common vision that everybody deserves to live in a community that's safe and that's clean, that's supportive, and that's secure. I believe in that. I believe in that vision. And whatever I can do to contribute to it, I'm willing to contribute to it. Whatever God tells me to contribute to it, I'm willing to contribute to it. And that's the life I want to live. I want to be an example to people that it's about the common vision, y'all. We got to stop being all in our feelings and our emotion, and making things personal. It's about the common vision. And that person can, you may not get along with that person, but that person can have a vision that you agree to. And God will allow you to contribute to that vision, and then you'll move on. And that's what I want my life to be, a testimony to that. Like I'm saying, no, you don't excuse unethical, immoral behavior and mean and abusive behavior. No, you don't do that. But I can give a compliment when a compliment is due. And I can look at the good. I can see the good and the bad in everybody. And I am not too high and mighty where I can't see positivity in people. And even if they're doing me wrong, I can still see the positivity in people and see their good traits and see their purpose and see why God placed them on this planet. But at the same time, still hold you accountable and expect you to treat me with respect. So I just wanted to clarify that. I wanted to make it clear, because sometimes I be feeling the spirit, And then when I think about it, I'm like, okay, did I make that clear? Did that sound contradictory? Let me go clarify. Let me make it plain. But then I gotta stop because I'm thinking of Jesus and the parables. Either you got ears to hear or you don't. And I gotta stop coming back trying to explain myself and make it clear, and it don't sound contradictory, because at the end of the day, if somebody is determined or just dead set on misunderstanding you, it doesn't matter how clear you make it. They're gonna still misunderstand you. So I need to grow in that area, but just wanted to go back and add that. So until next time, stay aware and stay grateful.